The pineal gland is a gateway to creativity and extraordinary abilities. Why are some people characterized by insight, intuition, and inspiration? How are some scientists and researchers able to achieve inventions and discoveries? And how do the world's creative minds emerge, such as Oscar-winning filmmakers, famous novelists, and great artists, musicians, poets, writers, authors, visionaries, and those who manage to accumulate enormous fortunes honorably after once being poor and destitute? And why do some scientists believe that individuals of high religious standing and mystics possess insight, intuition, inspiration, and foresight? It is scientifically established that humans possess two minds. The conscious mind, which is aware and perceptive, focused on the present, the future, and tangible reality, and connected to the five known senses. And the subconscious mind, which is not subject to a person's control while they are fully conscious. Some of its hidden aspects, characterized by immense potential, especially sensing and inspiration, tend to emerge during relaxation, deep meditation, sleep, and drowsiness. What has been discovered about the capacities of this mind still remains very limited. It is considered the primary source of what is known as intuition, insight, inspiration, prediction, telepathy, and extrasensory perception. What may be referred to as the sixth sense, or intuition and insight. It has been scientifically established for decades that the pineal gland is the last endocrine gland to be discovered. It is located in the center of the brain and measures approximately 5 to 8 millimeters in size. It is smaller than a pine nut, and interestingly, it is said to be the only part of the brain directly connected to the body, while the rest of the brain is separated from the body by the blood-brain barrier. Another remarkable aspect is that it is hidden in the middle of the brain cavity, as if it were a secret. It secretes the hormone melatonin and other hormones that regulate the biological clock, such as sleep and wakefulness, recurring light cycles, and human adaptation to them, including the 4 seasons, as well as regulating the aging process and what is known as the biological clock. In animals, it regulates reproductive timing, bird egg hatching, sensing dangers such as predation, and obtaining food. It also secretes the hormone DMT, which produces the neurotransmitter serotonin, responsible for elevated mood, motivation, and vitality. Among the functions attributed to the pineal gland is that it connects the physical material world with the spiritual world, as well as telepathy, heightened sensation and perception, meditation, intuition, and prediction that can penetrate beyond the 3 dimensions, because it possesses physical, magnetic, psychological, and spiritual abilities that, when activated and combined, form a supernatural power. The pineal gland is said to be activated through deep meditation, exercise, reading, yoga, remembrance practices, religious prayers, musical chants, drumming, and light. Through these mechanisms, a person is believed to be able to transcend the limitations of time and space, enabling perception beyond nature and beyond what is governed by natural laws. For this gland to function actively, it is believed to require continuous and long-term practice. Most scientists believe that the pineal gland in most people today has become less active due to the overwhelming exposure to electronic waves, television, the internet, mobile phones, electromagnetic devices, etc. Other factors include fluoride found in tap water and toothpaste, increased noise pollution from vehicles and machinery, and the decline in the practice of deep personal meditation and spiritual isolation. It has been observed that people who live in quieter environments with less noise, such as deserts and forests, as is often the case in tropical regions, for example, tend to possess stronger intuition and insight. It appears that the pineal gland functions more effectively in people living in such regions in order to preserve their security and biological survival. They rely on obtaining food through hunting and protecting themselves from predators and snakes that are widespread in these environments. They are also considered more capable of deep contemplation and are often associated with mental clarity and talents such as poetry, as well as being less susceptible to psychological disorders. This has also been suggested by extensive studies conducted on primitive tribes, as melatonin is believed to help alleviate depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders. Dr. Alexis Carrel, the Nobel Prize winner in medicine, stated, "One of the established facts is that major scientific discoveries are not the result of intelligence alone. In addition to observation and understanding, scientists possess another quality: intuition. This intuition, they perceive what is hidden from others and understand relationships between events that appear unrelated. Great figures in all fields of political, intellectual, social, and economic life have been endowed with the gift of intuition." Einstein said, "There is no logical path that can lead to the discovery of the fundamental laws of science except intuition. The fundamental principles contained in my theories came only through that, while I was on my sickbed." These explicit acknowledgements are supported by examples from great figures in human history known for discovery and creativity. Among them was the physician and scientist Frederick Grant Banting, who discovered insulin in 1920 as a treatment for diabetes. He spent years conducting research, but was unable to reach his great discovery until a brief moment of drowsiness during sleep, when he woke up and wrote down a statement that led to the development of the drug. The scientist Descartes also stated that his great discoveries came while he was lying in bed and through moments of drowsiness. The scholar Ibn Khaldun also mentioned that he used what was known as halumia, which involved repeating talismans and Persian phrases without meaning before sleeping, in order to empty his conscious and perceptive mind and quickly enter the non-conscious mind, the subconscious mind, allowing him to perceive and understand things that had been difficult for him while awake. Likewise, the scholar Ibn Sina was said to perform ablution, pray and sleep whenever he encountered a difficult problem, and then see the solution during a moment of drowsiness, waking up afterward to write it down. Professor Otto Loewi, the discoverer of nerve impulses, stated, "One night, I woke up from sleep with a brilliant idea in my mind about the signals and transmitters between nerve cells that carry messages from one cell to another. I immediately wrote down the idea upon waking, even though it had never crossed my mind before, and that led to the discovery." History also records that the German commander Erwin Rommel relied on intuition in his battles against the British during World War II. The British were reportedly astonished by how their secret and seemingly solid plans were repeatedly disrupted and by their inability to trap him. Perhaps many people have experienced situations or difficulties for which they found no solution, except during a lapse of the conscious mind or in moments of drowsiness. All of the above presents clear indications that great individuals alone are those whose intuition can elevate them toward discovery, creativity, insight, and great fortune. It is described as a unique faculty, the perception of truth without the aid of reasoning or logical deduction. Researchers and scientists in this field affirm that the success of scientists is attributed to hidden, latent forces that drive them toward creativity and unleash their spiritual and extrasensory energies and abilities. These forces are believed to surpass and go beyond the conscious, outward mind and are said to be what modern discoveries are beginning to explore through the concept of the third eye, the pineal gland. Follow me as we uncover more ancient knowledge.